Hi guys, welcome back to a new video. If you're new here, thank you for tuning in today. I hope that you consider subscribing. Also, I wasn't even gonna go into that because I totally forgot, but I'm looking at the analytics and there's like 70% of you all that tuned in that's not subscribed. So if you could please subscribe because I'm trying to do some things here to where it could be free for y'all, and it's definitely free to subscribe and like and share and all that good stuff. If you guys are in groups, please don't hesitate to share my information with your peers. So for once I monetize, again, I'm not doing nothing for the money, but it would be nice because I'm taking my time out to just give y'all information that wasn't there for me when I started. I really would like to get to a point where I'm monetized, but my reason for wanting to be monetized is because I could like go live and I really want to chat back and forth with y'all. I think we do pretty good in the comments. When people ask questions, I answer them pretty quickly. But I think it would just be nice to have like a set schedule. Everybody can just tune in at the same time. We can all ask questions. Somebody else might have the same questions that you have. And then there is like a membership thing. So like as a collective, if everybody pays for a membership, let's say it's like $5. So if I'm getting $5 from, let's say 20 people subscribe to the membership, then I still get paid for my time, but you guys aren't paying for like a one-on-one session. So it's not costing you however much at the time my one-on-one costs, because as long as I get paid for that time, that's okay. So it kind of is broken up between multiple people, you know what I mean? But I just want to reiterate, y'all, it's like 70% that tune in repeatedly that's not subscribed, so please subscribe. Anywho, I just wanted to come in today because first of all, it's been a while since I put out a video, and I do owe y'all another part of how to gain clients, and I'm going through it right now. So I'm going through getting clients right now, so I wanted to kind of put that on the back burner, like hold off just a little bit, because there's new things that's coming up for me and I want to make sure I get it in there, because this might be the last one for now. I was just thinking like a part 1 or part 2 because I didn't finish the first time. So yeah, I want to tie some things up there and get my information correct, and then I'm gonna bring that video out. But for now, I just wanted to say, like, when you're making your business your own, so let's talk about what it is to have a business and an agency. You had a vision of something that you thought you were great at, that you could do better than others, that you love to do, and you really have to take it back and think about what made you love it, what made you interested in the type of business or agency that you chose, right? So who are you? Who's the person behind this agency or this company? So whoever you are, whatever it means to you, make sure that stands out. So when people say like what sets you apart from other companies and agencies and businesses and things like that, that's what they're talking about. So if you have a passion for home care, you took care of your grandma and you saw how happy she was just to have somebody there, you saw how happy she was just to have the overall feelings of having somebody there for emotional support, somebody to talk to, laugh with, play games with, puzzles, watching TV, whatever it is, going to the park, going to get ice cream, going out for lunch, whatever it is. Like, if you just love to be that person and it makes you feel a certain way, like it just makes your heart flutter to know that somebody's looking forward to seeing you, that you're there for some, like whatever your reason is, like make sure you showcase that. So for me, it's like that. And so my whole thing is inclusion. If you're in a house, I just feel like you can be playing games like bingo or cards, putting puzzles together, baking a cake. Like, let's say you taking care of somebody who was a full-time parent and she loved baking cakes or cookies for her kids or something like that. So, she don't have to stop just because she don't have kids. So you could get in the kitchen with her, sit the things out, help her bake. She could stir a little bit, you could finish it off, like whatever it is. But keep them engaged, keep them active, keep them like in the moment. It doesn't have to be a sad moment because you're hitting this age and you may have some difficulty doing things that you didn't have difficulties doing before. You're just getting older. They're just getting older, and so sometimes it makes them sad and they go into a dark place. But if you're there and you're the person that's engaging and just lifting their spirits up, I feel like it makes all the difference in the world. So in my agency, I love that I foster inclusions. Okay, so when you're out, it could be anything. If they get out to have lunch, they saw the sun, they saw flowers, they saw the wind blowing, they were able to get a breath of fresh air, whatever it is. Like, it's a huge difference from being within, you know, four walls all day, nearly every day, or only getting out when you have a doctor's appointment. You know, it really makes a difference. So there's some people who are set in their way, but you know, I will still try. You know, when I'm with people and the agencies that I have worked for in the past, and I'm sitting with them, I know sometimes they want to watch their stories. They don't want nobody talking. They like, I wish this girl would be quiet, but I just try to do something different for them, and then they grow to miss that. Like when I talk about going on trips, or I mentioned like, oh, I'm opening my own agency up soon, you know, they're like, oh, well, when are you doing that? Like, I could tell now they miss me. So you just be a person, you become a person, and they look forward to seeing you. They start to miss that. Like, just like if you work in home care now and you're working up until the point where I'm gonna work until I can have my own agency, just pay attention to those things. And so paying attention to those things also can help you to know what they like, what they dislike, what they wish could be better. I was looking for an accountant, but he was able to help me with some other things and food for thought. And you know, his parents receive care, and he was just telling me like the things that he wishes that the caregivers that come to his home can do for his parents. And I was like, that is so crazy, because that is everything that I want my agency to be about. Of course, we're going to help with, you know, transfers, toileting, meal prep, and all those things that they may need help with. But I feel like if you're there, there's a lot of downtime. It's like when they pay out of pocket, they probably not paying you just to sit there. But sometimes they do. So like, let's not get it misconstrued. Sometimes they do. Sometimes they're like, you know, I work between this time and this time. Nobody's going to be there with her, and I don't want her to be there alone or him there alone. So I just need somebody there for 4 hours till I get home. And you may have a lot of downtime. And I feel like during that downtime, it's the perfect time to just pick them up, to just lift them up, get talking about anything. And so whatever it is that you personally felt when you had that vision of, I'm going to own my own business, make sure you bring it into your business. Don't leave it behind. And another thing I wanted to say about that is like, I wanted advice from people on like the colors of my business and stuff like that. And even some people that I didn't ask, when I showed them my logo and stuff, they was like, well, why pink? And somebody was like, well, what if they think it's only for women? But it's not just pink. So my colors are pink and blue. And I accidentally had purple, because when I tried to do a clear background, it didn't come out right. So I was like, you know what, I need to hurry up and do whatever I was doing at the time. I can't remember. So my background ended up being like a soft purple. So my colors are pink, a soft purple, and a blue. And I'm fine with it. I like it. Like, I like it. So anyway, now when I do things, my colors are like that pink, that purple, and that blue. And it sets me apart. When I was at a fair, I think I put it, did I put it in here? I put it in one of the other videos because I didn't really record it, but I took pictures and things like that, and they took pictures of me. So I put those in here. But when I was at the fair, they set us, like, if you're a home service agency, they put you all in the same area, right? So the job that I actually worked for was next to me, and they're nonprofit. And then there was me, and then there was another table, and I didn't know that person, but he was pretty cool, actually. So we all sat next to each other, but for some reason, everybody kept coming to my flyers. Now, it could be, and I was looking at my stuff just to see, like, what does my brand look like? To me, it looks very clean. It's pretty. It looks clean. It looks exquisite. That's the word that I would use. It looks like that. And the one next to me where I worked at is nonprofit. It's like green colors, and then they're like of Asian descendant, I guess you would say. they have some of their things on their flyers. And then the guy next to me, it was like business, kind of like, it was like blue and white, and it looked like industrial, modern type of thing, you know. And I will also say mine is like soft. Okay, so a lot of people came straight to me, and then some people were like, well, I don't really know if I could afford it. And I said, oh, well, this agency here is nonprofit, so if you kind of fall in the category where you might even think you can't afford something, you might be able to get services from them. And they were still interested in me, and I told a few people that, and they were still interested in me. And it's, you know, the job that I work with, and I loved my supervisor. Her assistant, not so much, but my supervisor, I loved her. And so I would never hate on them. And I worked with them for so long, like I would never hate on them. If I knew I was like a little bit more and they charged a little bit less, I'm in this industry for a reason. I want to help people. So if it's fine, like that's another thing. Your prices is your prices, okay? Your price is your price. You set your rates at that, whatever you set it at, because you know your potential. You know what you're bringing to the table. I don't want to say potential, because you can have potential but not live up to it. So I'm not going to say you know your potential, but you know your worth. You know your worth. So keep your rates what they are. If you want to do like introductory rates for some reason, you know, like the first week is free, or you get a free week or something like that, that's cool too. And I spoke on that in the last video, like how to get clients. But that's cool too. But don't ever just permanently kick your rates down. It is what it is for a reason. And again, I was talking to I'm gonna go back to in a minute, but you have to look at the service that you get from McDonald's versus what you get from Chick-fil-A. And I really thought about that. What is your experience? What is y'all's experience at McDonald's? So my experience at McDonald's is like, yeah, what did you need? Like, yeah, what's up? What you need? I tell them what I need, and it's like, okay, next window. And sometimes I don't even say next window. Like, all right, pull forward, like whatever. So I'll do that, and then don't give me my receipt. Don't tell me it's at the next window. I have to sit there and wait, and they'll be like, oh, it's at the next window. You'll get it at the next window. Okay, cool. Thanks for telling me. So I get to the next window, and then I just get my food, and I'm out. And sometimes they still don't give me my receipt. It's crazy. Sometimes they throw your receipt away. And Chick-fil-A, there's no way. Chick-fil-A has values that they follow, okay? They're going to make sure they say, my pleasure. They're going to greet you. How are you doing today? What can I get for you today? Is that all for you today? Did you want any sauce? Can I get you any condiments? They're closed on, this is one of the points that my uncle's friend brought up. They're closed on Sunday. And it doesn't make a difference to them. They have values, okay? So that's the same thing as your rates are what they are, and your hours are what they are. Because I'm gonna tell you now, my hours for inquiries is 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. There's no 9 to 5. And then there's one day out the week I do like a 9 to 7. Just because I understand how it is for people who like trying to get off of work and rushing, taking care of their parents. Like, I understand that. But there has to be some time where you can get on the phone with me from 9 to 2. But if you can't, then I have a 9 to 7. But your rates are what they are. Your logo is what it is. Like, you know what I'm saying? Keep your initial vision what it is, because somebody's going to appreciate it. People are going to work with you through it. Like, so my whole point was, my logo colors to people were crazy, and when I put it out there, it's not so crazy. People love it. And I think a girl's favorite color is generally like pink. Like, I used to hate pink. I didn't like Barbies, like all of that stuff. My favorite color is red, but I have a toss up. Like, I'd be like, I don't know, do I want red, do I want pink? Is my favorite color red? Is my favorite color pink? Like, it's just starting to be pink lately. So I just feel like like the Stanley Cups, they came out in a pink color, and now it made the headline. And like, I didn't do this on purpose, but the pink I did. The pink and the blue I did. But I didn't think about, oh, girls' favorite color is pink and you got to sell to women. Like, I wasn't thinking that. I was thinking this is what I want to do. What do I like? I have to look at this every day. I have to wear a t-shirt with this logo on it. I have to do my decor based on my logo and my colors and things like that. So it was what I like, what I want to do, what I saw my vision being. And another thing, I had a whole nother name for my agency, and I ended up going with my city and my middle name. My middle name is the city I live in. It's Aurora. And I didn't think about that either, but then when I thought about it, I was like, you know what, I really did it because it's like, who are you? What were you thinking when you envisioned this? Like, the same thing I'm telling y'all is the same thing that I did myself. I sat there and I thought about it, like, who are you really? What do you stand for? What are your values? What are your morals? What are your beliefs? Like, who are you? You know what I'm saying? And I was like, I'm going to change my name. And I changed it because I felt like that was a part of me. Like, with my family, I'm Tony Aurora. And with the person that I was when I had this vision, I was growing from this little girl, from Tony Aurora, to being who I am today. And today, like, I grew to be like, you know, as people grow, more wise, more, I really wasn't like that. I was very smart, too smart for my own good. So I did good in school and stuff like that. But I didn't really think about where it could take me. When people said think about college and stuff, I didn't think about that stuff. Like, I really didn't have no direction. I didn't have nobody talking to me or telling me anything. I probably mentioned this in another video, but I didn't know that I could have my own business, agency, or anything. I felt like those things were already set in stone. Only lucky people get them, or it had to be like passed down from, you know, my great-great-grandfather owned a Walmart. He passed away and it got passed down, and one day I'm gonna own Walmart. Like, I thought that that's how the world worked. So I never thought about, like, I'm not going to college. Like, I did think about going to the Navy. I did think about going to college. And when obstacles got in my way, it was like, well, I really wasn't set on that anyway. I don't care. Let me do something else. Let me find something else to do. And I kept a job. It didn't matter if I was job hopping, but I kept a job and I kept money. So to me, it was like, I really don't need nothing. Like, I have money. I have a place to stay. I have a car. I didn't have no kids. Like, I could have kept going that way. I didn't care. But the part about me that, like, landed me where I am, I love to learn. So no matter what, I stayed in school. I did end up going to, like, community college. To me, I love to learn so much. I didn't even think community college was a big deal. I'm thinking, like, you ain't nothing if you don't go to a university. But I stayed in community college from the time I got out of high school, and I'm still in community college. And I just love taking classes. Like, learning to me it's fun. Is that weird? I don't even know how else to, like, I love learning. And when they came out with TikTok and YouTube, my mind was going crazy. Like, with all the things that you can learn, with all the ideas and things. So that's how I landed where I am today. And I really just, you know, being more active, because I feel like I was sheltered as a kid as well. So being more out in the community, making friends, being in college, growing, working all these different jobs, and finding YouTube and finding TikTok and just being exposed to more, it really grew my mind. So this little girl who was Tony Aurora to, you know, now I'm an adult, and it's the business name. It's Tony Thompson. But, you know, I'm literally, like, thinking about it right now while I'm talking to y'all, because I never really said that part out loud. But yeah, it's just really who you grew into be. Like, for me, I took it all the way back to being a child until the steps all the way up until now. And I was like, that's it. I'm gonna do Tony Aurora, because that little girl sprouted to who I am today. Like, I never changed. And I guess that's, like, what it is. Like, I never changed. That person is still inside of me. I'm still that person. And she still means so much to me. And I owe this to her. Like, this is to her. Because she stayed true to herself. She never switched up. And this is what you get for it. Like, no, don't get me wrong. I've been through a lot of stuff. Good, bad, all kinds of stuff. But nonetheless, I'm still here. I'm still that person. I still love that person. And I owe her this. Like, because she's gotten me to where I am today. And so that's how I ended up with the name for my agency. Dig deep, y'all. Figure it out. If you got to talk yourself through it. Like, I used to have the Sims game, and for charismatic, like to gain the personality trait of charismatic, they would talk in the mirror to themselves. And you know, as a kid playing it, I really didn't understand it, but now as an adult, when I talk, it's not like therapy for me, but it does open my mind. And like when I come here to talk to y'all, I have a clear view of where I'm going with what I need to say. But once I start talking to anybody on the blog or whatever, to anybody, it kind of like, it's like when you hear yourself talk out loud, you kind of think about how it's being perceived. And it's like, yeah, that wouldn't make sense because I have to give a little bit more information because they don't know me. So then it makes me think a little bit more, and it just makes me go to other avenues that I haven't explored, if that makes sense. So I don't know, I just hope y'all got something from it. My whole message right now is just like, stay true to whatever you put out, whatever vision you had in the beginning, unless you see like, no, I just chose that because I saw somebody else do it or something like that. Like, that's what I'm telling you to stay away from. Stay as close to the original vision that you had, true to yourself, and it'll all work out. It'll be fine. So do those things that keep you set apart from other people. Those are the things that will keep you set apart from other people, companies, businesses, agencies, who you are as a person. If you're a giggly person, you have a bubbly personality, like if you're serious, stay that person. You don't have to go too far off it, because another thing I'm gonna tell you is people can read through you. And I don't know if I said that on here or on one of my other channels, but people can definitely read through you. And you know, it's like if you go anywhere and you receive services, you could tell like, oh, they seem like they really didn't want to help me. Like, they seem like they had an attitude. Like, the feelings that you have towards somebody, or when you have interactions with people and you like, oh, they seem like this or they act like that, people have the same feelings about you. There's nothing different about other people. We're human. That's basically what I want to say. We're human. We're all human. We have the same instincts. So just like you can read through people, people can read through you. So if your good morning, how are you sounds fake to them, like there's going to be other things that you do that are great, that are amazing, that take over, that they're going to remember. But what I'm saying is, stay as true to your character as possible. So the same way that I'm talking to y'all now, it's the same way I talk all the time. It's the same way I talk all the time. When I have my one-on-ones, it's the same way I talk. When I talk to clients, I talk the same way. I might clean it up to be a little more articulate, and I might slow down a little bit. And those are just skills of communication. Okay, so it's a difference when you're implementing skills that you learned to be able to communicate effectively, and, you know, taking the slang out. You know, it's an appropriate time for it, and there's times where it's not appropriate. So, like, it's a difference between implementing those things and just completely trying to be somebody that you're not. So that's just some food for thought. But I think that's all. I was just at the hospital doing my annual blood work. I did give the hospital my information, letting them know like, hey, I'm licensed now. And so while I was there, I was talking to one of the ladies there, and she was just asking me more questions about it, because I wasn't there for that today, but I saw her the last time I was there, and she was asking me about my logo and everything, and I was like, yeah, she was like, did I go through anybody to make my logo? And I was like, no, I did it myself. And she was just like complimenting me on it and everything. And she was like, you know, we have all of these logos here and yours stands out. But yeah, she's like, you know, we were looking at all of these and yours really stood out. And I ain't asked no questions, but I should have, just to kind of see. So for one, so that I can report back to y'all. And for two, I have plenty other businesses in the works. So it would be nice to kind of, if I would ask questions like, oh, was it the color? Or like, 'cause it had to be the color though. So, but instead of assuming, I should have asked. But yeah, so she just told me that. And I was like, let me, come to y'all real quick, put a video out and just tell y'all that, because that's just really what popped in my head. Like, if I would have listened to other people, I don't know what kind of logo I would have had, but it would have dimmed my light. It would have dimmed my light. It wouldn't have been me being true to who I am, and you know, it wouldn't have set me apart. And that's the thing too, like when people are sometimes they're in a hurry. Like in the case of being in a hospital and you're looking for clients, they've had some type of operation or they had something happen. You know, they may have gotten diagnosed there with something and they need to go home where they have caregivers in their family. You know, they don't really have that type of support, so they're looking for it. And when they pass your information along, all they have is that brochure. Okay, so if the color catches their eye, if you have quality pictures that catch their eye, if it's not a cluttered brochure but just clean and simple and easy to read, that might catch their eye. If you have a specific service listed, that might catch their eye. A certain quote might be heartwarming to them. They might be like, oh, my third grade teacher used to always say that quote, or it might be something that they see as a sign. So you never know what it is though. So that's why it's important to really bring your personality and who you are to your work. Okay, if that makes sense. Like, because it's really it's anything that could catch somebody's eye. And what I'm going to tell y'all is look at, like, just through your normal daily life, look at the things you choose and try to figure out why you chose what you chose. So if you had an option to go with house cleaners, what made you choose one person over the next person? Because like I said, we all have those instincts and things. We're human. So we all do kind of the same thing, right? If there's a house cleaning service and you went with one over the other, maybe you only looked at flyers. Maybe you only saw this person cleans baseboards, but that person didn't mention on their flyer that they clean baseboards. But guess what? If you call that person, they clean baseboards. So they both clean baseboards, but you chose this person because they actually had it on their flyer. So those are just the kind of things to keep in mind. A lot of people will say don't list all your services, and you absolutely do not have to. Because either way it goes, there's state rules and regulations. If somebody needs that type of service and this is what you in the field for, you need to provide that service. Okay, you might have your own rules and policy when it comes to how it's carried out, but nonetheless, we're all pretty much providing the same services. And when it comes down to it, it has to be in their care plan. So if they don't need, I used this one before as well, because we cannot enable where they are able to perform. So if somebody doesn't need you to put a spoon to their mouth and feed them, it's not in their care plan. We're not going to put that in their care plan if they don't need it. We're not going to enable those behaviors. We're supposed to be enabling them to remain independent, not to take that away from them, not to decline, because you know that will decline their health. So it has to be in their care plan either way. It doesn't create more work or anything like that. So you really have to let them know anyway up front the services that you provide, the services you don't provide. So to me, it doesn't make a difference. What I did myself, I don't have that all in my client agreement and things like that, but on my website I have it. And then when I sit with them to create the care plan, we go over it again. So that's just a tip that I wanted to throw in there. Something else I wanted to mention, I got a lot of people asking for the policy and procedures. Let me say really quickly, and I got another comment on one of the videos today asking the same thing as well. You do not, well, I'm in Illinois, so let me disclose that again. It's different in every state. And this is why when I talk to you guys, you might ask me a question. If my response to you has been, you need to contact your state Department of Public Health and let them know that you're interested, it's because you're asking me a question before you've done the research. If you've done the research and you've done what it tells you to do, you would have contacted them and they would have let you know what steps you need to take. They would have told you, okay, here is where you can find the application. Even if you found the application on your own, you need to let them know. It's not ever wise to just do something and send. For me, it was $1,500. Send a large amount of money with the application. That's not wise. And I'm only telling you that because if you're looking for help, like I said, none of this help was around when I needed it. So you're probably, you might look in groups, you might look on Etsy. There's a lot of places that you might look, you might get scammed. It's never wise to just do what somebody's saying and send some money. It's a possibility that you might not get what you paid for. It's a possibility that I don't even run that site anymore. It's a possibility that I don't even have that email address anymore and you done sent your money and now you can't get a hold of somebody. It's never wise to send your money with anything and not have a clear understanding. Call the number on the application. Email the person on the application. Let them know I found the application on the site. I see that for this state, the application fee is this much. Is there any other steps that I need to take? Because for my state, they're going to tell you to send in, and I can't remember exactly if this was all I needed. I know they said like employee handbook, but it did not apply to me. Because my application, and I don't know if everybody else's is the same, is home health aid and home service agency. So either one of those, if I was going to do either one of them or both of them, I would have the same application to fill out either one. So it's just that my fee might be different and you can find that on the front of the application. But yes, so just let them know I did find the application. I did see how much, the fee is. So I was going to gather this information and send it in to you. Is there anything additional that I need to send? So they'll probably tell you the client agreement. They'll probably tell you the schedule fee. And I feel like there's one more thing that I'm forgetting. I know it's, like I said, it said handbook, employee handbook, but for some reason it wasn't applicable to me. It could be because that was for home health aid and not for home service agency. So they're going to tell you, another thing they're going to do is send you a step-by-step guide on how to fill it out. For me, it did not help because it would say, I didn't need help with this, but let's just say it says geographics. So on page 17, for instance, it'll say list the geographics that you'll be servicing. Okay, so then I'll go to the step-by-step guide and it'll say page 17, list the geographic areas that you will be working in. That doesn't help me understand what you mean by like if somebody didn't understand it. It's not explaining it, it's just reiterating what it said. So it did not help me at all. But they have it, and maybe for some other things it may help you. So just look at it anyway. Look at everything they give you. Look at everything. Make sure you read it to understand. Make sure you read it thoroughly and fully. Like even for me, when I got my license, it said that I needed to do a background check verification within 60 days or 90 days, one of them. Let me tell you what I read that wasn't there. I need to perform a background check. I need to hire somebody. Oh my gosh, I need to hire somebody. That means I need to go ahead and get my payroll going, which panicked me into getting my payroll going. Because if I have to hire somebody, oh my gosh, I have to get this done right now. So I heard so many different things. Just really go into this when you are prepared, when you don't have other things on your mind, when you have the chance to focus on that and only that, when you're calm. Just like really take a deep breath, get yourself into work mode, and be able to read, to understand, to comprehend, to see what's actually there, because this ain't the first, second, third, fourth time I did that. But I mean, I got through it pretty quickly though, besides me waiting on them to get back in contact with me. So that's something else I wanted to mention. So yeah, like, read everything that they send to you. It's very important that you read, you understand. I would even say one of the things I did that helped me at the time is this helped me because I was focused, and I worked on this every minute of the day to get it done. But I used highlighters, and a different color highlighter meant different things. So one highlighter for me would mean I completed this. One highlighter for me would mean I need to email them and ask them what this means. Another highlighter might be I have this figured out, but I just need to put it on paper, or I need to type it up now. Like, different color highlighters meant something different for me. But if I did leave that project, whatever I was working on at the time, if I left that alone for too long, like over a week, I would be confused again, and I would have to start all over again using different colors for whatever. So that helped me, but I feel like it only really helps if you're focused, if you can focus in that way. But yeah, so definitely reach out to them first and let them know, because what it also does is it puts you in the game. So they're letting you know the time frame. They're letting you know you have such and such days to get back about this. And for me, that's what they did. So when I turned something in, I generally had 30 days to recreate whatever or correct whatever and turn it back in. So you essentially go on like a roster, and they keep up with you, and it just puts you in the game. So go ahead and reach out to them ahead of time before you send that stuff in, because you have to turn the application in. People had questions about the items that you turn in with the application. So again, I don't really have a lot of time. So originally I did a document. Last night I turned it into an ebook. So I have an ebook available of an example of the agreement. Okay. I want to remind you guys that it's based on the rules and regulations of Illinois. Okay. So generally, you would have to have the same things from any state. It's like a welcoming. It's letting them know that you follow the rules and the regulations of your state. It's letting them know that you cover specific costs, like what those costs are. It's a lot of things that you need to have in there. And yeah, clauses, rooms for signatures. It's a lot of things that you have to have in there. So I did put together an ebook. It lists everything that you need in there. But I do have like suggestions on what you could say, for instance. So how you could say it. You come up with your own format. So like I said, I must say I treat this like a business now because I really feel like I'm fostering, in this case, bringing who you are to your business, bringing your personality, bringing your values, your beliefs, and all those things, bringing your own personal touch to it. So you have to format it, but everything is there. So if you're looking for help in that way, it's on the website. The website is in the description box. It should be in the description box on all videos, but I'm going to slowly start uploading those things. Another thing I accidentally skipped over, but I wanted to say, you should not be turning your policy and procedure in with your application. It didn't ask for it. It didn't ask for it. And that's another reason why you should reach out before you send it in, because you should have their contact. You should be in contact, okay? And that's a good example. My phone overheated, but that's a good example of what I mean when I say read to understand, because if you read that application, it tells you the page numbers that you need to fill out. It tells you the application fee. It tells you where to send it to. It tells you who to put attention to if you Like if you fax it or whatever you're going to do, it tells you all of that. So read to understand, do only what they're asking you to do at that time. If they need anything further, or if they need you to do corrections, anything like that, they're going to let you know. Okay? So what I'm going to start doing is creating the documents like templates, and I will post them on the website, the same website that I already have for the one-on-ones and the ongoing sessions. And the way that I rate them is based on, so the client agreement is like a steal, because if we did a one-on-one on the client agreement, it would probably take 3 sessions to go over the client agreement document. So that's a steal right now, because my rates are going to go up, like I said. And if somebody did your policy and procedures for you, they will probably charge you $16,000. And if you divide that by each document that you need, it's going to come out to be hundreds of dollars. So it's up to you all. I'll just put it out there because I created it anyway to help somebody. So from there, I'll just upload it to the website and it's there if you need it. Oh, I created a Facebook group last night. So I'll put that in the description box below as well. So yeah, go there. And I just figured that would be a good place because you guys can be in a group amongst people. Like, first of all, you have something in common, you know me. So if somebody asks something, they, somebody else watched the video or something, they'll be like, oh, she had a video on it in there, or she said this before. Like, you guys could just kind of get inspiration from each other, help each other. If you got a question, maybe somebody else could answer it. But yeah, I'm gonna put that in the description box below. So follow the Facebook group. Take down the website in case you need it. Subscribe, comment, like, share, all that good stuff. And I'm gonna put together the next video. So thank you guys for tuning in, and I appreciate you so much for your engagement. You guys are amazing. So I'll see you in the next one.